Hello everyone, Jeff from RespawnStudios.com and EasyXbox360Achievements.com back with another LA Noire 5-star case guide. And this is going to be the last case in the traffic desk, which is called the Fallen Idol. So you'll pick up an achievement for finishing the traffic desk when you finish this. And you should also get an achievement called the Shadow for successfully staying incognito when you're trailing one of the suspects. So right at the start of the case, you just follow the path down here to the accident scene. And the two key pieces of evidence are laid out here for you. And then, which is the underwear and this letter in the purse. And then when you back out from this, it tells you to talk to the coroner. And then he gives you your third and final piece of evidence for this location, which is the prop shrunken head, which had been under the accelerator in the car. So here we go. And it does this little Hamlet line talking to the head, but that's all that we're going to pick up here, so I'm going to skip forward a little bit.
Alas, poor Yorick. How does someone manage to tip their rides?
Alright, so now that we're out of that cutscene, we're on our way back up to talk to the one of the surviving two women of the car crash. The other is at a nearby hospital. And for this, I'll go through the dialogue options. Again, I'm not going to show the whole conversation because that would make each of these videos like an hour. So there's eventually going to be 4 options, but I think it only starts with a couple of them. The doping allegation option is doubt. The suspect Mark Bishop, which comes up I think as the last option, is doubt. And the fake shrunken head is doubt. The only one that isn't doubt is the injured female passenger one, which is right there in the middle. And you're going to select lie, and the evidence for that is the underwear.
What can you tell us about the passenger?
So again, doping allegation is doubt, suspect Mark Bishop is doubt, fake shrunken head is doubt, and the injured female passenger you select lie, and the evidence to present is the underwear.
I think you're lying, Mrs. McAfee.
Alright, so after that conversation, you come down here to the hospital, which is like literally half a block away. Be sure to talk to this doctor. I think he's there before or after you talk to the other woman, but be sure to talk to him because he gives you one of the key pieces of evidence. And to get 5 stars in every case, you don't need every single correct answer in every single piece of evidence. You can miss like 1 or 2 of each and still get 5 stars. But there are, I think, pretty big achievements. I think there's 75 points each for finding every piece of evidence, or at least 95% of all pieces of evidence in the game, and for getting like every correct dialogue option. So I'm just going to give you the correct choices in every piece of evidence, just to make sure you can get every achievement you can. And then this is also optional. You could look at the chart on the front of her bed, which updates that key piece of evidence about the assaults, evidence of abuse. All right, so now for this conversation, it's our first one that isn't just the same thing most of the time and then one different answer. So crash incident report is lie, and again you select the underwear. The contact with parents is also a lie, and you select letter from mother. The association with Bishop, you doubt. And then the evidence of criminal abuse is truth. And you're going to pick up a key piece of evidence. If you correctly enter those answers, you're going to get mermaid. Alright, so now this is directly after that. You have to tail June Ballard, who was also leaving the hospital. So you're immediately put into the car, and you just have to stay, I'd say, about half a block behind the car just to be safe. If the car in the minimap starts to blink, you know that you're getting a little too close, so try and slow down. You don't have to go too far. I think it's about 3 turns. But just stay a good distance and go pretty slow because a lot of other cars are flying at intersections. Make sure you don't bump into them. That'll let the people know that something's going on. And I think this is the end of it right here, so very simple. And this is also going to get you that little achievement called Shadow that I was talking about. I think it's worth 10 gamer score. So that's the first part of it, the driving section. And now this is the second part, which I almost spectacularly screw up. I'm not really sure how she didn't see me. I was running, and I end up bumping through the doorway. And then I set up like inside the door frame. You're supposed to hit right bumper to lean right there, and then just move the thumbstick to make sure that she's on the phone so you could safely enter. But just be sure that you don't run to the other side because she might see you crossing the doorway. Just stay there. Once she's on the phone, you go inside, hit A at this booth, and then you just enter it, and you look like you're reading the newspaper. You just listen to her little conversation, and then when she's done, you're going to get the next location, which is Bishop's apartment, which then you're just going to want to select from the notebook and hold down Y in the passenger seat to tell your partner to go there. Again, just to be safe. And again, you should get that shadow achievement once you sit down at this table. Alright, so now we are at Bishop's apartment. We arrived, we went up the elevator. And now these are the key piece of evidence. The first one is the saddle, which has the tongue-in-cheek title of Gay Cowboys. Obviously making fun of, well, not making fun of, but being like a riff on Brokeback Mountain. That's what like a lot of people call it. Here in the first bedroom, which is the first door on the left, you're going to want to look at that check for $20,000. So the saddle, the check, and then there are three more pieces of evidence. The first one is this movie prop. It's a replica of the set of Intolerance, the most expensive film from the era, which bombed spectacularly at the box office, even though it had these lavish sets. Then you're going to want to look at a photograph of the set. So both of those pieces in that room on that same ledge. And then you come around to the other side and look at this photograph, and that's the final piece of key evidence to get here. And then you're going to have the conversation with Mrs. Bishop. And for this, it's going to be 3 doubts and 1 truth. The domestic disturbance, you doubt. The whereabouts of Mark Bishop is truth. The abuse of Jessica Hamilton, you doubt. And the check for $20,000, you doubt. So then once you finish that area, you have to call into R&I, and they give you the address for this prop store. When you come in, the guy shows you to this back room. And now once you're able to walk around back here, you're going to want to step up into the little screening area. And on the shelf is our first key piece of evidence here, which is chloral hydrate, a sedative drug. Then you're going to want to come over to this mirror and hit A. This doesn't give you a key piece of evidence, but it does allow you to get the last 3. It's kind of weird, even if you played through the game before and you know where the secret area is already. If you don't do this, you're not allowed to kick it open. So you have to do this step. So be sure to hit A. Okay, now we're heading around to get our other pieces of evidence. There's also a newspaper here. So again, this doesn't count toward your rating for the mission, but it's another collectible working toward the 100% of the game. So again, once you pick up any of the newspapers, you have to hit A to then enter the cutscene. And then once the cutscene starts to play, if you've already seen it, you can just back out of it. Otherwise, feel free to watch it. They're pretty good. And then on the next prop table over here is our next key clue, which is the prop shrunken head. And you're going to want to pick up this white one because it's the mold. I don't think if you pick up the one that's already painted, it counts. I think it has to be that white one. And then over here is a painting that's supposed to look like it's a continuation of the wall. And this is the part that I was saying you can't kick open. Even if you know it's there, you have to do that step with the mirror to know that there's some secret room. Otherwise, you're not able to kick it open. And then once you're back in here, we're going to get our last 3 pieces of key evidence. which is the empty film canister, the whereabouts of Mark Bishop, and the other film canister, which is over here on the shelf to our left. And there we go. New clue, and we also have our final location. And now we can head back for our interview. All right, so I think this is the interview that has the single most lies of anyone in the game, 3. The association with Bishop, you're going to want to select lie, and the evidence is chloral hydrate. The whereabouts of Bishop is the one non-lie, and it's truth. The relationship with Ballard is a lie, and you select empty film canister. And the evidence of blackmail is a lie, and you select the $20,000 check. So everything's a lie except the whereabouts of Bishop, which is truth. And just to give you one more run through to make sure that you got it, the association with Bishop is a lie for the chloral hydrate evidence. The relationship with Ballard is a lie for the empty film canister. And the evidence of blackmail is a lie for the $20,000 check. All right, and then after that interview, you're going to be pursued by these guys. Ideally, I think you're supposed to outrun them or ram their cars off the road, but I immediately get out of my car and don't worry about that. I just start shooting them, which you are perfectly able to do, and it still counts. So there's no reason to drive away or try and bump into their cars. I just get out and kill them. It's just as easy, if not way more easy. And then you just select the final location in the notebook and have your partner drive again to make it easier. And then when you arrive here, you just chase the suspect. And this is the end sequence, this big chase and then subsequent escape, trying to help him. So I'm just going to point out a couple little pointers here. This beginning part isn't really that difficult, so I'm going to wait for a bit. Alright, so skipping ahead, we are now on the roof. Hopefully you made it through the first part of the chase. It's nothing too difficult. You automatically do the jumps. Alright, so there's going to be parts that collapse, but if you're sprinting, it's not a problem. This is the one section where you have to do something a little different. Don't follow him to the right. Come over here to the left and jump across that little piece, because if you follow him to the right, it just falls before you get there, so you die. So just be sure to go to the left and do that little gap jump. And now, skipping that little cutscene, you're now trying to help him escape because these guys have arrived trying to kill him, and you're trying to make sure he gets to the police station to prosecute. So there's just one single guard there, but I definitely suggest you pick up his rifle, which is way better than the pistol. Shoot the explosives there, which will take out the 2 guys. And now for any parts of the game, really, in general, this is a good idea, but especially here, anytime there's a guy at long range, or really at any range, as I was just saying, if you just allow yourself to zoom out by letting go of the left trigger and then tap left trigger, it should automatically lock on to whatever enemies are in the area. So there, I'm just quick zooming on them because it automatically does it. A nice little feature. Makes the game way easier. So here I thought this was the point where the next guys came out, but it's not. So I push up. There's going to be one guy up here near the barrel, so you just wait for him, and then one guy below.
God, they're everywhere.
And there we go. And then there's going to be 3 battles here down on the ground. So we're almost done the traffic desk. So again, just try and make use of the quick zoom feature. It's always much more effective and you get battles done quicker. Because you will die, I think, if you take about 4 or 5 bullets without having time to recover. And there's no difficulty in this game. It's always just the standard difficulty.
Those barrels at the base of the elephant column. They're full.
Sometimes you could shoot the top of people's heads when they're in cover, like there. You have to shoot that barrel here in this first on the ground battle. It makes that column collapse and allows you to advance.
Follow me. We need to get him to the car.
This next area just has a couple more guys. Nothing special about this area. One guy in the ground, one guy up top. Alright, and now the big finale battle. The cops are arriving, but there are already 4 cars with enemies that are there, so you sort of come out in between them, so you just have to look over here to the right and pick off the guys by their cars. And here I was pretty fortunate. I was following that guy over to the right who was near a bunch of others, so I was able to take out 3 guys right away. Alright, and this is going to do it for our last traffic mission guide. So, I don't know how much you guys are enjoying these or if you're getting a kick out of them. So, I'm just going to start working on my golden film reels guide, but please let me know either by liking the video or leaving a comment if you'd like to see more 5-star guides, and I can definitely make them. But please let me know, otherwise I might make this my last 5-star guide if they're not going to catch on. So, please let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more. I hope that helped, and thank you for watching.